Lesson 5 of module 4 is where we are going to look at 6 leadership communication styles that can help you build and maintain a high-performing team. I'm going to talk you through the different styles and point out some places where it could be useful and what the benefits of that communication style might be, but also for you to be able to reflect and start to think, where am I hanging out the most? What's my natural leadership communication style, my go-to, or what I use more frequently? As we're going through this, you also might recognize that there's a need to develop one of these communication styles. So it could be that you're more competent in one of them, but not the other, but there's a requirement at the moment within your new role or within certain team members to be able to develop some of the other styles. It might be useful if you want to take some notes down and so you can record some reflections as we're going through this. Let's start with visionary leadership. So visionary leaders are very inspiring and they're very forward thinking. So they create a picture of a desired future state. They can also be very motivating and can create visions and objectives for people to work towards something that they want to achieve. Where a visionary communication style is really useful, it's useful creating a sense of purpose and direction. So it can be useful if the business is going through major change, because it can inspire innovation and risk-taking. So it really motivates people towards that common vision. Some of the benefits of having a visionary leadership style is that it can really fuel engagement and commitment. So it really fosters this sense of shared purpose and can help people really navigate uncertainty and disruption. Let's move on to an affiliative style. So this really prioritizes relationships. So really prioritizes building strong relationships and fostering a really harmonious team environment. Some of the behaviors that you might see would be supportive, empathetic, so that there's a sense of belonging within the team. Where you can use this really effectively is if you need to build team morale, if you need to foster a more collaborative culture within your team, or you want to maybe have some difficult conversations. So it really creates that harmony and builds emotional bonds within the team. If you've also got new members in your team, this style or this communication style can really help to bring new members into the team as well. Some of the benefits of this style is it encourages open communication and creates a positive work environment because it creates a real team spirit. A coaching leadership style focuses on development, so developing the skills and potential of team members. You would be seeing people providing constructive feedback or offering guidance. But the essence of this communication or leadership style is really empowering individuals to grow. Where it's really useful is if you want to use it for long-term team development, for mentoring, or if you've got an individual in your team that really needs some extra support in terms of their career development, a coaching style can really help. It really helps as well to increase employee satisfaction and retention because you're building a more skilled and adaptable team by using a coaching style. A democratic leadership style really helps team members to participate. So it forges consensus through that participation. What we're often seeing with this style is a lot of delegation. So leaders will use delegation to be able to empower others to take ownership. If you've noticed in your team a lack of accountability, for example, or that The team members seem to be coming to you a lot for answers or affirmation, or can we do this? So asking questions of if they can do things before they go and complete a task. You could start to really up this leadership style to be able to create ownership in the team. It's also great for brainstorming sessions when you want to do some problem solving. And if you're working on a project that you need to include lots of diverse perspectives. So you want to get different perspectives, make people feel psychologically safe so they can give you their opinion. Some of the benefits are that it encourages innovation. It can really foster that sense of ownership and accountability, therefore increasing engagement and a more harmonious team environment. Those 4 leadership styles or communication styles will really promote harmony and positive outcomes. It may be that you're using a blend of all 4 of those currently within your situation, or you may be leaning towards one of them. The key here is to look at what the team needs. So what do the people in your team need in terms of your requirement of your communication style to them? So you could be doing a blend of these every day with different people. The 2 on the right-hand side, pace setting and commanding, are still useful communication styles, but will be used less frequently. A pace setting leader would typically be setting high standards for performance. So they're very results orientated and they expect excellence from their team members. Where this is a great style to use is when you're working with really highly skilled, highly competent and motivated teams. So you can give them really ambitious goals with really tight deadlines, and this will be used as a motivation tool. It might also be needed to be used if you're coming towards the end of a project, for example, where we need to really ramp up the motivation at the end. If we hang out here all the time as our natural communication style, some of the downsides to it is that you can create a stressful environment, which may discourage creativity and may discourage risk-taking from your team members. A commanding leadership style is a very direct and demanding style. So can rely on a fear and intimidation style to get to achieve results. Coercive leaders really expect immediate compliance, so could resort to threats or ultimatums. So it's not great to have this as a natural style that you might be using every day. Where it could be used is if you've got an urgent situation or something that needs requiring immediate action, or something that you may have to do some disciplinary action within the team. If we're here a lot or this becomes our natural style, it can really damage morale. It can stifle creativity. And one of the downsides to this is it may create high turnover. So the 2 on the right-hand side, use with caution. They do have their place, but use with caution and start to think about where your natural style is and where you may need to flex up and down based on the needs of the people in your team.